Blog Talk Radio.
There it is. Here we are, guys. BJPen.com radio. I'm here with George Matthews, as always. George, how you doing today?
Not bad, Pedro. How you doing?
Doing good. Tell the listeners about our guest list tonight. Who do we have on here?
We're got top of the hour. We got UFC flyweight champion Demetrious Johnson, big guest right there. Rehabbing an injury. Then we also had the pleasure of talking to Martin Kampman and Mike Pyle yesterday. We talked to them yesterday for a while. Those were great interviews, particularly the one with Mike Pyle. For anyone that's it was a really, really long, in-depth interview. A lot of history in that interview. And then we're going to round it out with Scotty Jorgensen. So we got a stacked show today.
Yeah. What did you think about last weekend's UFC 158 event?
I thought it was a good show. I'll be honest, there hasn't been a fight in recent memory I've wanted to see worse than I wanted to see that fight really bad, especially the last couple of weeks with the build-up. That was a really, really anticipated fight for me. Diaz really sold me on that fight the last couple of weeks with everything he said at the press conference and the interaction with GSP. It was good stuff. What do you think?
I thought it was boring.
Well, you didn't really like it, huh?
I mean,
Hendricks?
Well, I was just talking about the Diaz GSP fight.
The card as a whole, though, you didn't.
The card was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the card was good, but I mean, the main event was boring.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was what I expected. So, I wasn't disappointed either way. I was inside. I was kind of pulling for Diaz because I just really wanted to see the whole list kind of get shuffled again and see, what everybody would say if Diaz was walking out with a belt. But it was going to be an uphill battle. So, but I thought it was a good show as a whole. So,
Hendricks and Condit was pretty rad.
Hendricks and Condit was an awesome fight. Condit's he's a beast, man. That dude, there's no quitting him, man. He'll turn that motherfucker into a fight from bell to bell.
Yeah, he will.
So that was good, especially when he came out for that third round with Hendricks. He
Yeah, the look in his face, man. He was he looked like serial killer status.
Yeah, he looked really ready to fuck Johnny up, man. So I was really looking forward to that third round, and they didn't disappoint, man. It was a good fight. It was a great fight.
It was.
Condit now is coming off of two performances like that because his fight with GSP was a good fight too. The fight with Hendricks I think was better, but they're both good fights. I'm sure Carlos would rather be on the winning side of those. There's nothing to be ashamed of there. Those are great fights.
Yeah, very good fights. All right, well, we have a stacked panel today, so let's not waste any time here. We got to get everybody their mic time tonight. First on our list is the UFC flyweight champion, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. Let's see if we can get him on the line right now and get this thing going. Demetrious, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How's it going, guys?
Doing great. How are you, man?
Good, man. Just woke up from an hour nap with my wife, and now I'm just ready to finish out this day, and let's do this.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming on and taking some time with us. How's everything going with you? I know we all know you're going, through a rehab of an injury, and just give us an update.
Yeah, the rehab is going well. They're working on my range of motion with my shoulders. And it's just tedious, I've been doing it twice a day, every day, and icing. So I've been doing that every day and just spending time with my wife, and that's pretty much it, man.
DJ, what's it like being you had the surgery, but what's it like you got your wife and you get a kid on the way and all this stuff like that? What's been going on? How's all that?
Oh, it's great, man. With this injury, me healing it up, it gives me a lot of time gives me a great opportunity to spend a lot of time with my wife, be here with her with the pregnancy, and I will be here for my son's birth, just because I'm going to take my time, my physical therapy, make sure I heal my shoulder the correct way, and make sure, when I fight an octagon again, I'm 110%. And, I'm excited to be a father. I believe that it's one of those achievements in life that, nothing can top it. And I'm looking forward to meeting my son and just being here with my wife.
Excellent. How has life changed for you, Demetrious, since becoming UFC champion?
It's changing. I do a lot more media. A lot more people want to talk to me, and with the UFC media is a lot more hectic, but it comes with the job, and I get noticed a lot more everywhere. The other day I was in Safeway, and this guy rolled up. He goes, "Hey, you fight for the UFC?" And I was like, "Yes." He goes, "That's right, baby. Mighty Mouse in the house," and he just drove off. So a lot more people notice me, and it's awesome. Other than that, I'm still the same guy. I still wake up, have my 4 eggs every morning, and spend time with my wife and play video games. So none too much, but just on the noticeability side, everybody notices me now.
Okay. Do you feel like it's a big deal? I think it's a pretty big deal that you're the first ever flyweight champion. It's a historic accolade that you have claim to. And do you ever sit back and think about that? Because we always remember the first of everything. And, after Demetrious Johnson retires and, your career is over, you still will always take that home with you at night. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot, It means a lot just to be the champion and, winning the belt and becoming the first ever. That was a huge historical time in my mixed martial arts career, but it's behind me, and the next thing I was looking forward to, but after I won the belt, was defending it, because there's a lot of champions in the UFC who became a champion and won the belt, like Rashad Evans, Forrest Griffin, a lot of names, and they won the belt, and then when they went to defend it, they came up a little bit short, and that was more huge to me than winning the belt was defending it, just because, everybody was like, oh, well, anybody can win the belt. You just got to put, 5 wins together, and then you get hard shot, you beat the dude, and then you win it. But, defending it against Dodson was meant a lot more to me than actually being set in stone in history. So I continue to, when I fight my next fight, I want to win that one, then I'll do 2 in a row, and it just keeps on building up, and I'm already the first ever flyweight, and hope I can have the first ever flyweight title defenses. So.
Let me ask you about that a little bit. You have a 3-fight win streak. You moved down from 135 pounds. How has that change been? I know that maybe the first fight, getting acclimated, and it might have been a little bit different, but at this point, does 125 feel that different than 135? Or are you kind of at home now? How has that change been?
Yeah, the difference between 135 and 125 is I'm fighting guys more on my natural weight, or I think some of these guys are even bigger than me. I haven't trained in the mixed martial arts gym at AMC for maybe 2 days before I had my surgery, so it's been about 2 weeks I'd done any punching or kickboxing, and my weight. The heaviest I was 151, but that's because all the fluid they pumped in me for, the surgery. But after I came off that fluid, I weighed 143, and that's been consistent, and I haven't been working out. So I don't typically get really big. I'm just a small guy naturally. So I'm fighting guys more my size, and when I fight at 125, my diet's a lot more strict. I'm cutting weight like everybody else is in the sport. And, I'm fighting guys more my size. I think John Moraga is probably the biggest guy in our weight class. He's like 5'6", which is, that doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, that's, I used to fight, I fought Miguel Torres, he was like 5'11" or 5'9". So I'm just fighting guys more my size, and I'm having fun with it.
With that said, your last fight, your fight against John Dodson, a lot of people had talked about, Dodson being so fast, But at the same time, you're also known for having highest speed around the octagon, throwing shots, moving in and out of the pocket faster than anyone. How was it in there with Dodson, and was he as fast as you thought he would be? Was it about what you figured?
Yeah, Dodson, he's fast, but I think that most people don't understand is that Dodson's very explosive. And when I was fighting him, he did a lot of backing up. So that's why in that fight I had to stalk a lot more than me being in and out, because when you fight Dodson, you have to put that pressure on him. You can't just let him dictate and explode on you and then relax. You have to put constant pressure on him. So me mentally, I knew that I was going to take some damage in that fight because I'm fighting out of character. When I fought Ian McCall, Joseph Benavidez, I was in and out because those guys, they dictated the pace, and I would come forward a little bit too. So when I was fighting Dodson, I wasn't surprised. I knew he was explosive. I knew he hit hard. I just made a couple mistakes in those first couple rounds where he was able to capitalize on. Then after that, I started to readjust and kept the pressure on him and eventually wore him down. And then, those last final rounds, I was able to utilize the clinch, get my hands on him and be able to utilize, my clinch game and wrestling. And at the end of the day, I came away with the victory.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You were really successful in the bantamweight division. You are a former number one contender there. You fought Dominic Cruz. Now that you're a champion at flyweight, is there any thought of ever going back up to try to capture gold in that division and maybe finish some unfinished business up there?
It's something I think about, but I have no desire to. There's so much to be done in the flyweight division. I mean, I defended my title once. I would like to clean out the division. I think they're still trying to get more talent for the flyweight division, and as that continues to grow, I think I will continue to, want to fight all the guys. I already fought, Joseph, Ian, Dodson. Hopefully, I end up fighting John Moraga if he waits for me. Hopefully, I can fight. If I beat him, hopefully I can fight the next guy. And if they want me to fight Joseph again, I'll love to fight him again. And I just want to fight and be successful in my career. Not just as a champion, but just as a mixed martial artist. When I walk away from this sport, I want to have done well for myself and not be like I walk away with nothing. So, and the only way I do that is by fighting as much as possible and staying healthy.
Okay. Joseph Benavidez, you just mentioned him. To me, he seems like a guy that's not going anywhere. I think that he's going to pursue you until he gets the rematch, and if you best him in the rematch, he's going to pursue you again. What are your thoughts on Joseph as a fighter? I think that next to you, he holds the most name recognition in that division, and he stakes a claim every time he goes out that he wants another shot at you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd love to fight Joseph again. I think he's a great fighter, great opponent, and I think he's gonna keep on getting better. And as he keeps on getting better, I think I'm gonna get better as well. I'm working with the best in the world, Matt Hume, and it's always good. I've always worked with the same coach, so he can always build on what I need to work on, and I think Joe's doing the same thing, with the different coaches he's worked with. And, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm always up for a fight. And, if I best him the second time, I'm sure he's going to come out, for a third time. If I beat him a third time, I'm sure he's going to try to get another, chance at, fourth time. So I'll always be ready for any fight. But first I got to get the shoulder healed and then get back in the gym and take on Moraga first.
Let me ask you a question, and this is something I've been curious of. You fought the best guys now in each weight class. You're at the top of the division at 125 now, obviously. But you fought Dominic Cruz. What do you think about who presented the tougher task there? Like if you look at Cruz and Barao, who do you think is the tougher? Who was the tougher fight?
Oh, see, that's the hard one because they both present their tough problems. Barao, he's a huge bantamweight. So is Dominic Cruz, but I think Barao might be just a little bit bigger. And he's more dangerous. He has the knees, the submission game, the kicks, the punches, and the knockout power. So he's very more dangerous on the feet. So in general, when I look at Barao, I think he's going to be a tough fight because he has the potential to knock me out and all that stuff. Dominic Cruz, he's also tough too because he understands range, distance. He has great cardio. He can mix it up. He can wrestle. Hannah Brown's last fight, he showed some wrestling and some adversity. He overcomes some adversity in that fight. So they're both tough fights, but, when it comes down to just the brute toughness and strength, I got to go in there, and if it was in a bar fight, I would have picked Dominic Cruz than Barao, because I think Barao's going to throw the kitchen sink at me, so.
Is Barao, he does seem that much bigger than everyone in the weight class, at least to those of us watching or looking from the outside in. He does seem like a much bigger guy in the weight class. Is there come a point where that's a detriment, though? Because you've used speed to beat a lot of the bigger guys. Whereas Edgar used the same strategy at 155 pounds. Is there a point where, hey, the strength and the size don't mean as much, and you can use your technique and your speed, and that is your offensive weapon?
Yeah, one of the best things was they did a pound per pound. What does pound per pound mean in mixed martial arts? And that means you're going to come across guys who have the same speed as you, or who are going to be bigger than you, and who have more power than you. But it's going to come down to technique and speed, cardio, strength, or whatever. And I believe with Dominic Cruz in his weight class, I think Dominic Cruz has all the tools to be anybody in that class because he's smart, he understands range, distance, he has good speed, he has great cardio, and he has great technique, and he can mix it up well. Barao, he has a lot of power, and he can mix it up well, and that's what I saw in his last fight. With me, I came across a guy who is just as athletic as I am, if not maybe more. I think John Dotson's super athletic, and he has speed. But at the end of the day, he came out who had the better cardio, who had the better technique, and in every department. When it came to the clinch game, I wanted there. On the stand-up, he had the better knockout power, but I just think he hit me 3 times, and I fell down each time, and I got back up and kept on striking with him. So I think when it comes to having advantages, it all depends on what it is, what the playing field is.
Okay. In your flyweight career, who has been the toughest challenge for you? Was it Dodson, or was it McCall, or was it Benavidez, or who was it?
It's hard to say. They all present their own problems, but I'll say Dodson just because he had me hurt. I'll say he had me hurt really bad in one part of that fight. The other 2 knockdowns were just like flash and off-balance knockdowns, but the one where he dropped me, I had no idea where he came from. I remember when I got hit, I was like, holy shit. I was like, where did that come from? And I got right back up, and then it wasn't like I never was on the queer shoe. It was almost like just a boom. I got hit hard, jump back up. So I'll say Dodson because I never experienced that in a fight, and I overcame it. And, so I had to give him that, that bill.
Right on. Something else that kind of fascinates me kind of about you is the Xbox sponsorship. And I know that's kind of weird and off base, but tell me about the Xbox sponsorship. Obviously, you probably play games. What is your favorite game?
Oh, man. Right now, I'm playing Gears of War Judgment, which came out yesterday. But my favorite game, I like fighting games a lot. So right now, I've been playing Darkstalkers. At one point, I was ranked 4th on the leaderboard. But I like all types of games. Anything that has to do with fake, fake or big monsters, or you running from something. I'm a huge fan of that. Or Legend of Zelda. The list just goes on.
Have you ever played Call of Duty or any of those type of games?
Yeah. On Call of Duty, I never played the campaign. I always play multiplayer, just because I look at that game as a friend game where you play with your friends.
Exactly. Are you able to play a lot, or is your life mostly right now rehab?
I'm able to play a lot right now, and my life is mostly rehab too. So I rehab in the morning, and then I rehab at night, and then in between there I spend a lot of time with my wife. And then if we have, when she's doing her crafts or she's doing something around the house, then I'll jump on there and play some video games here and there.
So do you ever get a chance to play with any of the fans, or do you have any of them hitting you up on Xbox Live? Or?
Oh yeah. I've done both. I always play with my fans. Whether it be last time I played a lot of fan interaction on Xbox with Dead Space 3, but played a lot of that. And then the last time I held a tournament on Xbox 360 was on Halo Reach, I believe it was. Yeah, Halo Reach. We had a full room of just playing different game modes, and then like the winner of each match, who would win the match, I would send off, an autograph promo. But the thing that we ran into is that I was beating everybody, out of 1 out of 10 of those matches. I won like 6 of them, so only 4 fans won something. And after a while, I started feeling bad. And I was all right, I'm just going to send out to second place. And then they're like, no, we want to earn it. And I was like, all right, sounds good.
So you actually had to make some concessions to give your fans some prizes because you were beating them too badly, too soundly.
Well, I just felt bad just because, if I'm going to play a game, I'm going to play to my fullest ability, especially when it's like, competition, because I don't want them going out there, but I just beat Mighty Mouse. I'm not going to go out there and brag that I beat them, but, I take my gaming very seriously, and so at one point I was like, this is supposed to be fun, not like me trying to be a dick or anything, but I was like, all right, second place I'll give to you, and I didn't care. I just had a great time. I thanked all the fans for coming out and playing with me because it made for an awesome gaming experience and also chatting experience because we were all in one room just playing and talking a whole bunch of crap.
That's right.
Have you ever been playing a game and somebody starts talking a whole lot of shit to you on there, and then you're like, they have no idea that you could absolutely beat the ever-loving shit out of them with ease? They just have no clue. Or you ever just listen to somebody yap? I've had people do it to me. I can't beat the shit out of somebody like you can, but it's still funny nonetheless. And I thought it'd be even funnier having somebody talk a massive amount of shit to a UFC champion.
Not really, because I'm assuming you're talking in real life. Like, do they know that I can beat them up in real life, or typically when people talk to me?
Yeah, like if they know that you're a gamer tag, I don't know if you have it in your gamer tag or whatever, like Mighty Mouse UFC or anything like that. If they did know, but because they were so far away, they know you can't. You're not anywhere near them. You're not in the same room with them. They sit there and yap and yell at you after you destroy them playing whatever game you're playing.
Oh no! The last time somebody talked hella crap to me, and they didn't realize who I was, they didn't need to know because like they were talking hella crap to me, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna come in there and beat you up in this game. And it was Mortal Kombat. The newest Mortal Kombat came out, and I jumped in there and just gave it to him. It was like 5-0 after 5 matches. He was okay, you got lucky that round, and I beat him up again, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. There's no point. I proved my point here. But other than that, nobody's really talked crap to me that bad. Like when they talk crap to me, I either back it up, with a fighting game. But other than that, if I lose in a fighting game, nobody really talk crap to me.
Hilarious. Let me ask you this, Demetrious. What's it like training with Matt Hume? And this guy has a huge history with mixed martial arts, and I'm really fascinated with the history of the sport, as well as current events and the current happenings going on. But what's it like training with a guy like that who's so synonymous with like the old school?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I mean, Matt Hume is probably best, hands down. I've been with Matt since the very beginning. A lot of people tell me that I should do a lot of cross training with a lot of different fighters, but I haven't seen the reason to or desire to, unless Matt goes there, like in Singapore. Matt says it would be good for me to go to Evolve and work out there with him. But Matt, he's just been around the sport forever, and he knows how to take a fighter. And this is mixed martial arts, so you see a lot of guys go to a boxing gym to work their boxing, and then guys go to kickboxing gym to work their kickboxing. It's all good, but at the end of the day, this is mixed martial arts, and a boxer does not know how to box in an MMA fight. Or a kickboxer doesn't know how to kickbox in an MMA fight. You have to be able to mix it up, and that's what Matt does very well. He mixes it up, and he also trains with me. Like I grapple with Matt, I spar Matt. It doesn't go my way every single time. Pretty much all the time it doesn't go my way, but I'm getting that hands-on working with the world's best and feeling what it feels like to do certain things. So, that clinch game that I displayed against Dodson, that's been a long time coming of me just being able to get my hands with somebody and be able to work my clinch game, because I've been working that clinch game with Matt for 6 years now. And, you know, the plum when I jumped on Dodson and started elbowing the head, you know, the Muay Thai, we call it the spider monkey, that, you know, Matt's been trying to teach people to do that for years now, and finally somebody did it in the octagon. And I remember when Matt did it to me when I was an amateur, and my temple was sore for like 3 days. So Matt's the best, man.
Very good, very good. When do you think, you know, I know you're currently in rehab right now, but is there any type of goal for your return of action?
Yeah, you know, obviously get my rehab taken care of and coming back. You know, the thing that sucks about my rehab is that I can't stay in shape really, and what I mean by that is that I can't go running. I think the most cardio I can do is riding a bicycle, a stationary bike, just because my doctor doesn't want me to, you know, when you run, your shoulders kind of move. He doesn't want me to aggravate my shoulder. Just focus on my rotation and then get the strength back, and then we'll start doing different things. So as right now, like I said, it's just work on range of motion, then strength, and then we'll go from there. So my goal is to hopefully fight on headline the August 17th card, UFC on Fox Sport 1. I would love to do that, but first got to make sure I come back 110%, because I want to make sure I come back, my shoulder's good, I can train 110% and get ready for this title fight.
So your opponent before the injury was supposed to be John Moraga. When you I don't know how much of a chance you had to examine his game, but is there anything about his game or that he brings to the octagon that you think is going to present some difficulties or some challenges you haven't seen before? I mean, you fought big guys, you fought submission guys, you fought pretty much almost every type of guys with power, overweight. What do you look at it when you see Moraga? When you look at him in his attributes and him as a fighter? What do you see?
You know, he's a little bit taller flyweight guy. But I fought tall before. I think I pretty much fought every single type of fighter you can. But I think John Moraga is a different type just because he's well-rounded. He's a very good wrestler. He showed some submission game in his UFC career, and also, you know, a TKO. And so he presents, you know, some problems. You know, I think, we'll see what we get out there. When we have been able to analyze him before I went into surgery, we were already training for him and getting ready, and we had, you know, what we're going to do out there. And so I'm looking forward to it, and we're just going to see what happens when the dates get set and we get in there.
Okay. Well, Mr. Johnson, I really appreciate you coming on with BJPen.com radio tonight with us and giving us your story.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
All right. Bye.
Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, UFC flyweight champ. It's always good to talk to DJ. I don't know what the timetable is actually for the, you know, shoulder is kind of a weird injury, man. Shoulders and knees, they sometimes the